What up, what up? Y'all already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moo Shot himself. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, God bless each and every one of y'all. And shout out to Teofimo Lopez and his collaboration with Dad's Gang. Y'all already know how we feel about fatherhood in my channel. Fatherhood is prominent in the sport of boxing. Fatherhood is not only prominent in the sport of boxing, but of course in society itself. Especially now in society when they're trying to eliminate the dads, the importance of fathers in their children's lives. And, trying to diminish and feminize the men. Watch out, man. All right? Be the extension of God. Y'all already know. But anyway. Is a good interview, and I'm gonna put the interview in the description section so I could check out the interview after this video. Now, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Now, let's talk about Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez. I believe that Gervonta Davis versus Teofimo Lopez, I believe that's their ultimate legacy fight, in my opinion. When all the smoke clears, I think it's gonna be Teofimo Lopez versus Gervonta Davis. But not only that I believe that it's a great legacy fight for them, I think we have never seen a matchup where both of these guys have speed, freak of nature speed, power, twitch muscle, athleticism. I don't think I've seen two guys in that ring that in their generation is the peak of athleticism, the combination of speed, athleticism, power, IQ, twitch muscle, everything. Now look, a fight with Tank and Haney, good. A fight with Tank and Shakur, good. A fight with Teo and Haney, good. Teo Shakur, Teo Ryan. But no matchup in boxing, could match the athleticism, the realistic matchup between Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez. When it comes to athleticism, speed, power, youth, prime, this is the best matchup in the sport of boxing. You add that dynamic in the ring. Not one guy. See, sometimes it's that one guy that got the speed and power, right? And the other one maybe got the IQ. Like people want to see a Tank versus Shakur in the lightweight division, right? But Shakur doesn't have the athleticism and the speed and the freakish nature, power and speed of Tank. We know that if Shakur fights Tank, that will be Shakur trying to box and Tank trying to, also box, because Gervonta Davis he's a great boxer as well, right? But he's winning the fight. And we know that Shakur Stevenson is not willing to go out there and fight you. So we're not there to outpoint you. Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Davis, a fight is going to break loose at the highest level. With all the dynamic, the freak of nature collab that they have, that only God could give you what they possess. And that's why I always said, I say to tanks, to tank personnels, who I think is their best, is the best matchup for Gervonta Davis. I remember when Mill City was interviewing Calvin Ford, and I posted that. I posted that question to Calvin Ford, and Calvin Ford said that when the smoke clears, he thinks that it's gonna be Gervonta Davis versus Teofimo Lopez. And I've spoken to Teofimo Lopez and his dad, and I said I believe that's the legacy fight of this generation. And I think that people really need to be real with it, and don't enable that Gervonta Davis is just, that he's good enough where he's at. That he doesn't need to chase or dare to be great. Because I do believe that he needs to accomplish at least what Teofimo Lopez have to accomplish. And of course, with the things that Teofimo Lopez have accomplished, it would be good to him accomplish the type of, what the revenue and what Tank generates when it comes to fight. One thing about Gervonta Davis is that he gives people their money's worth, and it's becoming apparent that it's a for sure thing. People expect Gervonta Davis to knock out. And when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, because yes, Teofimo Lopez had the greatest win with Vasily Lomachenko, and then the hiccup versus Camboso, and then he had a major win versus Josh Taylor, and then the other performances after has been not as dynamic as those special wins, right? So it becomes the criticism of Teofimo Lopez has been which Teofimo Lopez shows up. If Teofimo Lopez performs to the level of his competition, but if we feel that Gervonta Davis is up to that level, then we all know what Teofimo Lopez is going to show up. We all know which Teofimo Lopez shows up when the lights are bright. And the Teofimo Lopez versus Gervonta Davis is is the best matchup that we could have in the sport of boxing of this generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already knew that back in the days, Duran had the speed and the looks and the IQ and the amateur and the showmanship, and we seen that Roberto Duran had the power, and he also had that type of athleticism as well, and he throws combination, but not quite as fast as Sugar Ray Leonard. But let me tell you like this: Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Davis, speed, power, showmanship, athleticism. Hey, yo, I'm going to say that's probably the best matchup when it comes to the dynamic of their God-given ability. Shane Mosley versus Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah, there's some speed and power and stuff like that. I'm not sure the athleticism of Oscar De La Hoya. I don't think that he's athletic like a Shane Mosley. I don't think they was athletically inclined. Like, I'm talking about athletic that we know that Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez, if they chose to play other sports, they could have been elite at it as well. That's how much of athletes these guys are, to match with their God-given ability in terms of speed and power and how they deliver the type of punch and the IQ and where they deliver them, the accuracy of their power punches. Let's not forget that even in his last fight, Teofimo Lopez landed almost 1,000 shots. 20 plus power shots each round. You know what I'm saying? Power shots. Now, threw 1,000 shots, I mean. And that was the most. So we know that Teofimo Lopez is becoming active. We know that Teofimo Lopez also take care of his body. He don't walk around more than 154, 153 pounds. He don't walk around, so he keeps himself in shape. We know that Gervonta Davis of late has kept himself in shape as well. These guys are their prime. Teofimo Lopez is walking into his prime. Gervonta Davis in his prime. This is the fight that needs to happen. And us boxing fans really need to get behind this type of fight. We should not let this fight slip under the rocks because maybe Teofimo Lopez is not one of those guys that's within the hip-hop culture, coming with the rapper like everybody else or whatever y'all want to call it. At the end of the day, Teofimo Lopez is the most accomplished fighter. And I want that Gervonta Davis, with his skills and talent, he should dare to be great. People should not be content. Gervonta, and look, I'm a Tank fan as well. And I'm a supporter of Teofimo Lopez and a massive fan of Teofimo Lopez because not only that he's done good for the sport of boxing, he kept the morals of the sport of boxing alive of this generation because he's the one that set the tone. He was the leader of the generation. He is the leader of the generation, the commander-in-chief. Yes, I said it. He set the tone when it comes to the morals of the sport of boxing and keeping the morals of the sport of boxing. When today everybody's saying that belts don't matter, Teofimo Lopez is still holding that belts do matter. And if we go to Gervonta Davis put butts in the seats and we don't give a damn what. No. We want that Gervonta Davis put butts in the seats. We want that. We don't want that element to leave. But we also want that the special attributes that Gervonta Davis has is put up to the test versus an elite fighter and a highly accomplished fighter, more of accomplished fighter than Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez. See, that would be Tank Davis there to be great going to the 140-pound division and facing Teofimo Lopez. And look, I know that if the betting line comes out, it will probably be 50-50. Maybe because people may feel like, the momentum of Gervonta Davis carries into the fight, right? With the illusion that he's knocking everybody out, maybe the slight favorite. But what happens when Teofimo Lopez is the underdog of all his fights? Once again, he performs to the level of his competition or exceed the expectation, which made great fighters great. All the great fighters that we love in the history of the sport of boxing became great because they just didn't match the expectation. They exceeded the expectation. Manny Pacquiao, the 8th Division World Champion, 5-time lineal, 12-time World Champion, the ambassador, the son of the humanitarian, the greatest karaoke singer of them all, the GOAT, Manny Pacquiao. He exceeded the expectation. Muhammad Ali, when everybody thought that he was going to get killed by Sonny Liston, exceeded the expectation. And also versus George Foreman, exceeded the expectations. Right? Mike Tyson, being the smallest heavyweight, exceeded the expectations. A lot of fighters exceeded the expectation. Roy Jones Jr. moving up from 155, 154 pounds to the heavyweight division exceeded the expectations. When you get the ultimate praise in the sport of boxing, when you exceed the expectation. Roberto Duran exceed the expectations. Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis, this will be a fight that will exceed the expectation. This is the legacy fight of this generation and the most dynamic matchup that boxing could produce today of this generation is Gervonta Tank Davis versus Teofimo Lopez, the two-time lineal champion. Do you know what that means? Two-time lineal champion. Tank needs that. Tank needs that. Tank needs to see if he's really going to be great. Not everybody just saying that he could put butts in the seats, and yes, he's knocking people out, and yes, he's performing spectacular, yes. But those are special wins? Or those are wins that I'd be like, yo, what do you think is Gervonta Tank Davis' best and legacy-defining win? What you gonna say? When you gonna tell me? Mario Barrios, Pedraza? Nah, you don't want that. So Gervonta Tank Davis fans, don't try to disagree at this point because you want to not coexist with a belief of maybe people that don't like Gervonta Tank Davis use and say he doesn't fight anybody. It's not that. It's that with the skills that Gervonta Tank Davis possesses, he should be the one because of his age and when he started first in his contemporaries. And when we talking about his contemporaries, we're talking about T.O. and Shakur and Haney. He should have the most accomplishment, but he don't. He might have the most butts in the seats. He may look more spectacular, more sensational. But just like when Mike Tyson was talking about Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, he said, Manny Pacquiao looked more sensational. That doesn't mean he's better. He looks more sensational. But what happened to Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather won, right? I'm just saying, just because Tank may look more sensational right now, that doesn't mean he could beat Teofimo Lopez. I think it'd be a great fight. I think it's the fight that we need to push the most. In the lightweight division, if Gervonta Tank Davis fights Shakur Stevenson, I think that's the best lightweight fight, but the best fight in boxing. The most dynamic matchup, and I'm going to keep on saying it because if y'all don't want to keep it real, y'all know it. When y'all dial in, y'all doing y'all film study, and y'all looking at the attributes of both of these guys. Imagine if both of these guys win a video game, and you need to create the, the overall. What's the overall? What's the speed? What's the power? And stuff like that. You will see that the best matchup is Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Tank Davis. That's the ultimate matchup in boxing. Realistic matchup in boxing and the biggest fight will do great numbers, will do great pay-per-view, and the build-up will be serious. Shout out to Teofimo Lopez Sr. as well, trainer of the year in the past. He know how to promote. Teo know how to promote. Tank's team know how to promote. Coach Ken, Coach Ford, the whole dynamic of the fight. Floyd Mayweather said that that's the best fight for Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis said he got a 6-fight deal, right? And Teo will be in it, right? Teo don't got an opponent. Tank don't got an opponent. November 9th. Let's do it. Teo, Tank.